Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mnayogana nkulamusako nkubuuzaako gwe wenna buli omu waali abali mitala y'amayanja abatwabira ku Facebook, YouTube mwenamba lamusako na mwenamba mu nsi ya Uganda ng'oli mu ofisi yo oli mu ddiro nkimanyi emirimu gyazzemu kuba gikola era nga buli omu emikono kati emirimu agikwasa bukwaku. Mbebaza mwenna beekumbire kwesti minoga nti kanfisa kadde mbenga ngwera program the sharp top nova Tamale mindi yatusedda waali mu nnyumba mutabani w'omugenzi Yohana mimi mama mole na matovu mama nkula musako nga nkusabira munga berenga ayongera okuba nti akujjanjaba tali nkatage manya era nga nange natusedda wendi onaku zomezi 11 omwezi ogwajja mu mwaka 2022 ni watu tulina okubanga tutematema ensonga bisambula mu wiki nayenga twabasubiza okuba tugenda kuba n'okubanga tumaliriza ensonga y'okuba ya sports era nga ngenda kusaba
Uganda
doni watwale bifaananyi by'emmotoka ey'omukulu gye yaweebwa jja kuba ogitulaga
twagenze
mu African Cup
emipiira gifudde
empira abantu basamba
omupiira baguyingizamu ebyobufuzi
nze nga ngamba nti mukwano gw'omagogo yagwonoonye
ate mulindwa gwe mwakuba tikana akatabo nakawandiika mulindwa nampa emmotoka
kituufu motoka nagirabyeko nebifaananyi netubitwala simanyi obadde onya biteeseteese totunda otereka buteresi
twategeeragana shiriki yange bwegendera twategeeragana ne mulindwa
neshirikiyo
ojja kufuna ssente ate tugula endala ekyo kirabo kya
emmotoka yiyo nga ku screen emmotoka nga mwogiraba yeeyo
nabagamba nti wusipa kitongole kibi nnyo because wusipa has the powers to dictate who is who. Amawulire ga wano gayina ekyo tuyita name calling oba baptism in propaganda mavari keruchamuzi dejo ali smart mukulu
abatugobera ku TV emmotoka jala ku screen yeyo mmoloka omukulu gye yawa Mzee Tamale
yegirita 15
years ago ne okuuma mmoloka ng'ekyali
ekirabo munno kyakuwadde ne bwe basuuti ng'oli yagikuwobanga ttu buli lwogende ewo ekigenderamu.
Yes.
You don't know public relations. I've maintained that vehicle yajigula ne kadi yayo najimba.
Teri kuuza mbale sima kadi tugende mu maaso.
Nti baani aboononye
omupiira mu nsi ya Uganda.
WISPA ye namba emu. Is a strong organization, influencing leadership, ba mafia bagiyingiramu. WISPA. Bali batta abantu for organize Masaka. WISPA yatwala sente mu fika salama.
Na ala tugenda biyo NGF ngewoninga abantu tujja kujja wao
kali nkugamba another deadly group in our soccer comprises of the betting agencies. They are deadly everywhere they exist, like scavengers. They don't mind about the game. Their only motive is money. In developed countries, betting companies are under strict control. But in gullible societies, societies cowards, they are not subjected to strict monitoring. They can pocket inverted commas everybody, including ministers, Uganda Revenue Authority, and those who would monitor them. Take for example, some media outlets that run paid for betting adverts. They promote these chance games 24 hours a day, as if they are a full-time employment. It is common for newspapers and FM radio stations to hire bet experts in inverted commas called the Akadirisa to guide on how to spot winning teams, which is a lie. How can a hyena become a market master? How can a bet company, which needs money, give accurate advice to those who want to win against it? This is the gullibility of the highest order, and the journalists involved are just idiots, and they are stupid, and the stupidity of the highest order. Anybody who believes in this is a fool. Ntibokedde kuteremu akadiso owangule ne baleta ba experts, so-called experts. Awo kakati oyo coach teyali taddemu gumanyi ki awe kati yakoze ensobi n'alikoze stupidity. All of these sports good programs are paid for. Kati awo ejenfudu kati awo gonde teeka wano these are paid sente bazikimawa
bazijeri mu
betting babagula nenkugamba I'm continuing hitting the bet companies.
Okay.
How do you expect your co-wife who doesn't want you to produce hair for your husband identify a gynecologist for you to produce his sons? Thus, whenever you find any controlled betting companies, football cannot grow. They are capable of influencing soccer results through fixing matches and buying off players and coaches. How much do our players earn as wages and allowances? What stakes do they have for the good of the game? How do we protect them from our competitors ahead of big matches? The same factors affecting sports arrangement, management, and players are prevalent among prominent coaches. The coaches have been cited in fixture scams at the expense of their nzesewunyi. Ndio nomusajja wa Mani yagenda gundi yagwa Mani
yagwa Ferguson.
It happened to City Council. Immediately Bidandi stopped coaching them. Yagwa Bidandi was an expert.
Okay.
City Council was winning cups after cup as Bidandi was the coach. At one time Bidandi spent most of his time doing his time nga coaching cranes.
Okay.
Ini yagano okuwagira abayekera. Kyaligonza namuweereza akapapula tindi wano mu nsiko mpeereza ssente. N'abagamba yabatumira mwana nze siyeekera. Kyaligonza akugamba mu kitabo kye titwadde abaana babiri ne tubalekawo ne tugenda. Abaana baffe baali surrounded. We are forced to move during the day.
Okay.
Tibidandi n'abawaayo. Kateega yakugamba nange naliwa kabalagala nga neekwesa ow'omuntu ne mupeereza Bidandi akabaluwa nnyambe. N'agamba nti awandiike n'empandiika. Timba ndi awo ku balukoni ng'omwana akomyewo omuto eyayogera. Ankaze n'abasirikale Kateega yagamba nadduka mu balukoni ne neekwekawo. Kakati Bidandi bwe yategeera yawekera bayinza okumutta. Muwanga namutwali Luzira Looja.
Oh.
He spent most of his time in Luzira Looja.
Okay.
Kadi nkugamba. Soccer, war and politics and business bifaanagana.
Soccer, omupiira, olutalo, ne business.
Bifaanagana. Nkugamba. There are several similarities between soccer, war, politics and business. All central concepts are affecting millions of people. I often use similes to illustrate my points to the ordinary folks. They are very strong communication tools for message delivery, especially to the rural educated societies. There are words in everyone use. It is in this vein that I often tell my FM radio programs audiences that a loss is unpredictable. If a patient admitted in hospital, before you visit him to see him, you will encounter two conflicting situations. You imagine to either finding him dead or still alive. We call this the inoculation theory. You must prepare yourself for either good news, bad or good. This is why there are mortuaries in all of the big hospitals.
Yes.
Genda ng'omanyi.
Either
omusanga
oba
obutamusanga.
Bwe kiri.
Toyina garanti nti ojja musanga.
Ojja musanga eva ajja kubanga mulamu.
Era bw'osanga obuuza agenze kunaaba nti nedda ali mu ggwanika.
Ali mu ggwanika.
That's why these bazungu, every big hospital has a mortuary to tell you that some are cured, some die.
True.
And even a cannibal cannot come and retrieve a day. You pay the bills.
Kituufu.
Kakati nkugamba nti nze nkozesa nnyo obugero as a mass communicator. Kati ekyo kitegedde. Nkugamba the cops, if in them were patient, you must understand that the corpses in the mortuary we are once patient.
Baliko abalwadde.
Previously undergoing medical treatment. This doesn't mean that the doctors failed their role because they are the same who save others. other lives. The same ideology is true of business, soccer, war, and politics. However shrewd a businessman is, she or he is mindful of either gaining a profit or incurring a loss in every transaction engaged. One businessman can profitable sell a commodity in the same city market that has others failed.
Bwechiri.
Bwe tuba tusoma marketing batugamba titugamba nga nti ebintu biri byo abantu tebakyagula. Look into another supermarket. Maybe we're still selling all the commodities which are expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe a new entrant has come in the market. Tugamba bugambi nti
tebikyatama bintu byagana.
Pamasuti amalungi tugajjawo.
Kituufu.
Ate wano mu Uganda tebalanga. You go to Britain mugende mulabe obuyumba obwedda bino bya window shopping byabayindi be babitwala mu Bulaaya. But you advertise these people mwabali ku TV singa muyina manufacturers nge Kenya singa ojja ne shooting eteereddwako nti esangibwa wano. Would be advertising.
Abantu tebagala kulanga munna.
Tebalina sente. Teri feasibility study gyotwala mu banka ngega nti nja kukola losses emyezi 6 tebakuwola. Teryakuwola ekitegeeza biri artificial. These are money lenders. That's why kati nkugamba. In war, a soldier must understand that he or she either kills first in order to survive enemy fire or be ready to pay with his own life. Likewise, in soccer, fans must bear in mind that their team can lose or win. A win is not automatically guaranteed, and that is the essence why soccer remains the most popular of all sports because of its unpredictability. Omupiira kasita okuteeka mu computer guba gufudde. Gulina okubeera mu errors ezo.
Technology.
These people don't know. One of the coaches, the history of cards, a coach was moving nayimirira ku bitaala. Ekya green ne kijja, ekya yellow ne kijja, ekya red ne kijja. Mwe mwava cards ezo ze bagaba.
Yellow ne red.
A coach
reserve.
Yes, he imagined. And we use these colors in football. In soccer.
Okay.
Eliminated the green one.
Red ne yellow.
Yabijja ku bitaala. What's a sports writers? Where did you start? Nkugamba. It is this unpredictability. Bw'oba olina entunno tolaba mupiira. Omupiira gunyuma gwawedde. Okitegeera? Omupiira gukunyumira gwawedde.
Dipulenga noganga
bakuwangudde edda mind yo nekola ki
nekakkana nesetulinga
you are good chicken hearted tolaba mupiira
ona pressure
yes ofa nkugamba the day soccer will become less tense is the day it will lose value, and the day it will become emotionless is the day it will become less attractive. Hence, a great game of soccer is one of that combines all of the above aspects. Therefore, the Uganda versus Zambia match was a great game. It combined all of the factors of tension, emotion, and unpredictability up to the last minute. In that sense, rather than move on. You did not have inoculation. Ababukedde bakubanga ababu ono abakipolopolo bwe banaamulabako ewabwe tebaliyo. African games used to travel with witches, especially in Nigeria.
Rwanda byajja waneeno okusoma ne Uganda
ne wano mu 80s eyalogeranga villa yasulanga wali kwali Tamale nga musajja mugolozi nga yalogera villa naye omusajja oli yali muzibu nnyo nga bw'aba agenda okugolola engoye tawulo tagiteeka ku mabega agiteeka wano n'atambula ng'akola bw'ati yali yabala omuloko wa villa. There was a time bafiira egindi bafiira ejjinja ab'ejjinja batta ente ne bagiteeka mu masaŋŋanzira bano ne balowooleza mu malogo n'ab'e Rwanda tujjukira akayibwa akajja ku Argentina Maradona witches
ninga bikola
anti bikola anti buli omu abirina anti kakati buli omu aleese eddogo kati kitegeeza eddogo terikyakola yefu ebere Muganda supports federal Then the election factor shifts from federal to another to money. Pamwe namuli ba federal now. Ubongo akili wemba kubira. Kitange yatukuliranga 10 twaliyanga mitwe jangege. Hapo tunao. Ate buli muntu yenna ewanga alya mutwe gwangege.
Gikyalabikako munnaye kati giribo bagagge. Mitwe gyengege.
Bagenda ne bangamba omutwe gwangege gugula emitwalo 2 ne gwetaano ngugula.
Era gumune gusobola omutwe gwengege. Nega abangi batasobola omutwe gwangege.
Nkugamba nti move on to destroy that achievement. Uganda ought to pat their own backs and ever to consolidate and take it to another level. Like in war, business and politics, there is no easy or weak opponent.
Buli omu abeera tough.
Bugenda ne bagamba this is ekibinja ekya death. Tewali tiimu nnafu.
Group of death. Osanga ebigeza katiimu akabadde wansi
yakuba Germany. Greece teyatwalako European Cup.
Bungi nnyo.
Yes. Brazil bagikoledde newaabwe ekikopo
nekigiremu okutwala.
So there is no weak team.
Okay.
There is no weak country. Kakati kutuwe. Lagataka amenge ya ADF. The powerful UPDF. Emaze banga cheko.
Banga
licha. Did they walk over?
Aha.
Hey.
Era machi asitana.
Yes.
The opponent mwa.
Wali wona abadanere kamwe nyosumu bene muteka kutaka. Tali disparity takola yaka. How can this man who sleeps in Zana defeat me? Me am not an international criminal suspect. That's what we intelligent. I follow this man. Yes, he got the money, privileged money. From getting money to the richest person in Uganda. You don't know what is strange. That's ice cream. You will never remain with this. Ndimudani wakajiji aja kufuna mukaka bono. Ngachitawe ya inachi. Poverty is gravity. You go back to poverty. Waliwo bwafu obululio. Ekusika.
Manyi.
Muteri ngiyo.
Bakwira mu family enjako tujja kusaba buli baavu.
Poverty. Abatujoza abatunyo ku mitwe abatunyaddeko. If you come from a poor family, waliwo obwavu obululio.
Bonga buli musayi.
Nga buli musayi. Ano sanga fwe. Abayina olufuno. Tuliyita lufuno.
Nga bukyogwalako kibeereka mu
Yes, lufuno. However much you suffocate me, I become harder. Babadde bagambi. Tumuyite lwaki ekyankwanzi adina osinge gundi ze dangling money. Nabadde ngenda genda naye ne mutabani wa Kajiji. I was going to blow up. Mwalira bye kugo. Ngende naye. Evumu aliriyo de wali galubindi.
Odogena na kabomu tachichi.
Is there anything that I cannot do? I can smash your head. That's why I have been avoiding them. I can give Mirundi a job akatabandika Kajiji. Museveni ampadde omulimu nemese nali nkutta kasajja kaka busenga. There is a job in a new vision, 50 million. Is it money? Dignity.
Chitu.
Nali nkakwenyondo nkwasa omutumbu tumukunda abagamba. The president has given me a job. Mukanteke gwe nali nja kutta singa we bakadde wa Kajiji gwe. Nakulaba gwe.
Tugende maso n'ensonga ya.
Nabulaba konga bunyo obululumu buyinenga tozamenya. Mwanda bakonga ndi muwafu mabulisi. Therefore, supporters to appreciate that there is no weak teams in soccer. There is no weak army in the world. The hitherto army of the superpower America was in the early 1990s humiliated by Ragataga militia in Somalia. Yet, the other Ugandan troops, a developing democracy with no comparable measures to the American army at all, has decisively defeated the Al-Shabaab militants in Somalia. In soccer, certain teams are described as underdogs, but it is such that they pull up surprises against the so-called giants. In politics, we have seen celebrated politicians losing to political novices. Poor candidates have succeeded, where rich fellows have tumbled. Mr. Tim Rwanga, a serving minister in this government, was defeated by Moses Kabusu, a freelance journalist in 2011. Miyengo was defeated by his former driver.
Bwechiri.
Former driver.
Banji.
Powerful Sempija. People laugh at him in his Mizinga. He was deflated by a mechanic, a metal mechanic in Uganda. wanuwa erukaye ayo sempija buli lwamulaba yalaba ndabirwamu yakuba sempija ne bwanabeera mu bizinga kasajaka
kamuleka ku ttaka
kano kagundi ak'ebitanda akapanganga ekitanda kakuba maama wange Amelia politics, soccer and war
bifaanagana.
There is no weak team. Never. Oyinza okusanga ekitiimu nekikwesibako
kituufu.
Croatia yakuba Germany ne bagigoba neewa. Cameroon yakuba Germany ne bagigoba mukundi. There is no weak team. Never follow this disparity army. Instead of this young man allowing me to get money, yasibanga nsibe. N'atamanya. Why didn't Museveni tell you to give me that money? Museveni wanted to destroy me. He wanted me to destroy you. That's what I have totally done.
It was deliberate.
Yerita Chibala. He must come and get money on my knees. Says Alawa again to Mumwesent, Empire Yendal. Yarita Gala Rugwe. Yarita Be. Total destruction, which I have done. The moment Museveni allowed you to be listed on the international ICC court, they don't reason. This way they don't reason. Why should Museveni allow a close relative to be indicted? Bali abantu 15 musambu lwaki abalala bajjamu gwe nakuleka
nosigalamu
jogoli kaluka saluka sinaka rubindi saluka gwe temumanyi petubakubira kwaloga I analyze the situation. If Museveni wanted to save this man, the initial list was 157. Why did he leave you there and to mwebase? Yabatamwa kajja kuduka ate no bakoze ensobi bagambye mu tebajja kugenda
lwaki
bagenda anti Museveni yabakubye yali bolorizinze covid byonna babadde babikola figures bakati tujja kugenda kakati bali bagambye tumwebaze yabadde ayina okugenda n'atagenda bamutaddeko bute ya $5 million
amukwata
ku mutumani gw'akajiji nayogera wali
$5 million
abadde amantalira wafe agenze kutunda Sangobbe ate okumanya kasajja Kasiru Sangobbe tugimanyi weeyita batwaliddemu n'ettaka ly'abantu. I told the other this yesterday I'm going to chase you out. And now I'm tempted now to stand again. Ngobono matama buku. Batwalira matama buku talina byayogera.
Asitse
busirisi nga abantu bewaffe baba bwenyabwe. I'm standing.
26 okomawo.
Yes.
Tamale langidde biri abiri mukaaga abantu be mu mulinda jja.
In business, customers can reject food from a posh restaurant and flock one downtown. How many Ugandan city tycoons who struggle to secure space at Nalongo's place in Katwe? They leave the comfortable sofas in the big hotels to struggle for a seat on a timber bench. Another important factor that affects us positively or negatively in politics, war, soccer, and business is the decision making. We all always make decisions, but decision making is a very important process. In fact, it is a whole chapter in the political science.
Decision making.
Every decision is determined by the past, the future, experience, and it has a purpose. When Museveni first appoints you, Pete Kamya, as advisor Kampala n'akujjayo n'akufuula aigigi nga akimanyi ti sente za compensation mwazibira mu land come back and
jango tereze biwasobya
bwe bakola mpaka
nti bampadde ngudde mu
gufo psychology or not
ngudde mu gufo I'm celebrating.
Why does Museveni continue providing me with the security they are there?
Gwe bali
ono yepangira ku motoka yange ajijemu amafuta n'enjirizayo tukuliyete baje mujjako no sente baze mujjako. I create a contradiction for him because he is an arrogant man.
Yeah.
Akasisi katte enjovu. Enjovu kajiyingira
mukutu.
Negenda bene kijonna nefu. Enjovu lyonna bane nkwambula empale. Logic.
Okay.
Dikati ono omukazi bamujje mu mawulire. Nabagenda omukazi mulema byencha. Byencha is saying you pay the woman called Namuli billions. Where is in Namuli and New Zealand? Atujje tukwate tukusirise mu mukwata omukozi babadde bamu bya police bya abadde bamu bedde egendi eri bamu bino kadduka na police nedduka buli gwe munalumba bajja bakuba.
Okay.
How can you silence somebody? Answer. This is a woman called Namuli. And
yes.
He inherited it from Muchi. He bought it from Muchi. Silence him. Programu zangu familia yakajiji eri kiroji kitaawa ali kutuma tumwekole noti tumwebase cholese mu familia yamu kaba kutwale otembe bakutandiko $5 million n'abasekale bebe nyine bajja muwanya yaganyo
kubona bagala ka center
bakoze ruling tetujja genda temujja genda somanya no gondi jali ola wa doctors tufone ebiwandiko mu medical gundi abasajja babasensera kasita mu 7 yabawayo 157 people mwina abalekayo nabali bakimanyi nti singa yali ayagala obayamba yaliko
yali badda
they wrote to him first.
Okay.
Bajja kukyusa ba minister ba justice nekagenda mugenda nekatula ino tutulwako gwe atakuta walito inako inazi hoteli oyinaki bwatakuta wabaki nakuloga nabaloga
yes. Open ino chogedde
yes. How can omwana wa uhuru abatu olusaniya lwegundi nti with all the wealth you have you engage in organic killings and external wound kati baje elevated to capital offense 28 years in prison omusajja Pakistan mu appeal ye ba omisanga ejimu implicates deeply Franka tumwebase.
Okay, let's go ahead. Tumaze ensonga yasoke no bawulizamu
ebango ndikubye nendiwanika.
Yeah.
A decision must put in perspective the past, present, and the future. Help know that similar situations have resulted into. In a war, a general must decide when to attack, how to use the air power, artillery, and when the foot soldiers should advance. He must understand the enemy power and the reaction abilities. While advancing, a general must ensure that his supply lines are safe and must be mindful of landmines and sudden ambushes. Similarly, a politician must know the mood of the electorate and what they expect from a candidate. A complete candidate must understand the issues that will determine the elections. This is why they decided to dump all the political alliances like Kenya and jump on new ones in order to reinvent themselves. Like they dropped DP and joined NOB.
Yeah.
Baba Chimazo Chiba. Politics is like swimming. You cannot swim towards a storm. Kati singa nze ndi muyiso singa mbuba ina political desk singa Museveni tumukolera before elections nawandika akatabo kange what will affect Museveni zigundi nempandika akatabo kange tumwebaze n'akakwata ne munne sente mbungende nolinja batta munyi muli bakawunawo nabadde mbatire ekyankwanzi ba gulu omulambo gwe bali kusanze wali galubindi mutegeera nti mutujoze ekiyitiridde mutukonyeza ku kise 8 years of suffering. Museveni ezize kansere message ewange mbadde nja ku blowing up you were lucky musente muzijja mu government akati nkugamba nenkugamba on the other side a businessman must decide whether to bring in new commodities for Christmas or not, whether the economic situation allows the customers to buy new clothes or not. That's a businessman. That's a businessman. A general mukuboli. Money will be spent on edibles. Kati toyiza kuleta masuti.
Toyiza kuleta masuti.
Nga attention y'abaana yonna yakulya.
Yakulya mbeni.
Kakati oba musiru. And the businessman, like a war, like a chi, they are playing with the lives like a medical doctor. Yeah. Must decide whether Caesarean or not. You are running against time.
True.
Yes. Nkugamba. This is a problem in Uganda. Many businessmen interests attribute loss sales, even on the big days, to poverty and Museveni. This is not true. They have failed to study the dynamics of an emerging middle class. The class does not buy according to the calendar. They buy whenever they get money and when a new fashions arrive on the market. The traditional buyers who had to buy their wives new clothes on Eid, Christmas, Easter, and other big days have given way to the middle class. Secondly, The middle class is mindful of their health because it's very expensive to fall sick. So they prefer to buy from supermarkets as opposed to ordinary markets. Even where there is strong places like Narongo's place, earlier mentioned, for the traditional meals, they do not compromise hygiene conditions. Our friend, the Uganda Cranes coach, must be a good decision maker because any blunder decision making is fatal. The game lasts for only 90 minutes in a very tense atmosphere with the fans who have high expectations of either win or they lose. But good fans have to respect the other team as well, and this acts as a shock absorber in the case of defeat. It is such fans that return to normal life very quickly after defeat. They don't suffer heart attacks to an extent they were prepared for any outcome. They know that the other team also badly needed a win as they did and were chasing the same trophy. A good coach, therefore, like an army general, must study the enemy's area of strength and how to neutralize them. He must be very, very careful while making substitutes. A coach is a kejino. He's a businessman. You are playing with your money. Yes, you are geno. Nabagamba. In addition, the coach must understand the crucial departments of the team, like a general. In modern armies, some talented soldiers are specifically selected for suicide assignments. Names for such specialized departments differ between countries. Some countries call them special forces. In America, they are the Navy SEALs, and in Iraq, Saddam Hussein called them the Republican Guards. These can fight behind the enemy lines, rescue hostages from enemy groups, and rescue hijacked planes and other unused assignments. It is the Navy SEALs who killed Bin Laden. The attack with decisive swiftness and accuracy. I'm tempted to compare soccer stars to this army group. Soccer stars must be like special forces.
Why?
Yes, because of the assignment. Soccer stars are some people. A coach must select special forces.
Okay.
Who can fight behind the enemy?
Bagenda specified assignment.
Yes. Nkugamba. These stars are the commandos who can penetrate enemy defense lines and score goals from unimaginable angles. However, like in the military, not every soldier can undertake this assignment. Therefore, not every player can undertake this assignment. Uganda Cranes, in their present situation, where I wrote after Chipolopolo, lack the commandos. Uganda Cranes lack the commandos.
Uganda Cranes?
Yes.
To have a command.
You never penetrating a defense. You don't have the special forces.
Okay.
In the soccer.
In the soccer,
Uganda never special forces in the soccer.
But Chiva Kuchi.
Anti-Baba training.
Whose role is that?
Whoever gets the ball, shoots towards the goal post without first controlling it, tease the defenders, and then shoot. Tebachina.
Bakubi.
Chibichiwana wala. Kiria.
Mzee Tamale, whose role is that to combat our training or combat college?
And then Kugambi, the coach, a good coach, must know people who can penetrate. This can only be done by a confident and determined staff, which the Cranes currently lacks. Like in the military, identifying such a special talent is not simple. It requires a combination of bravery and intelligence. This means that these commandos can make decisions very quickly, depending on the prevailing situation. A slight delay in the decision making produces fatal results. This is what a talented striker does. I know Kubana Hamagezi. Think very quickly. What do I do in such a situation? Mbuzayo basiguzayo. Yes, Brazil were sambiranga. Ndiye kutusa ku goal nira banga tijja kutema.
Nedayima bega.
Nedayima bega ne planning. Naye nga erabe bagwina. Yes. mwina coach. Those coaches.
Coach ani amulete.
Nkubuulire ba coach balina kuyitika maje. Omuntu yenna the thing I miss in my life, I never joined the army. That's why I lack a discipline. Alina kifuniramu. Sali badde radical nga bwendi. Baali mu kalulu. Kenya baali mu kalulu. Kikwete naagwa. Mu kalulu naagwa. Tanzania nene. Nasituka mangu nayimirira. Nibaga kiki. I'm a colonel in the Tanzanian army. I'm a colonel in the Tanzanian army. But then nina okusituka nyimirire. Waliwo wano twali kololo. Omusajja yali akoye komanda wa parade nga bwagira ne bamusindikira abantu nga bana bamugyewo egindi Southern Sudan olw'omusana bagwa ne baggwawo omusajja yalemerawo. How can you follow down in front of the commander in chief? Yalemerawo n'aguma era ffe mu Baganda batugamba ti akasajja kali Muteesa kamuvuma n'akabwayo mu kigwo n'akawa essajja eddene bweriti sajja ne likanyiga ko kye kakola tebayina ndaweya kati ko kye kakola nga nekegaziya kati abantu ne balaba obwerere bwako lino essajja bali kabulunzi kaba tebekegaziya abantu baseka nilirakise kamukuba wansi nekadduka nekeyanza mu maaso ga kabaka nekavuga Ssaabasajja Kabaka omusajja mpe mudde nankola bwati naye bwente kulemerako nga waliwo omulabi ate emize jadda kkado kinkubidde obulenzi buno byanembubetinta wali yali
nsaba tukumbewombe ensonga ya soccer tudde ku points endala
role of luck in soccer and to many people luck is but just a myth. In our daily lives we talk about luck, omukisa. I normally hear people talk about omukisa. Some even consult which doctors for it. The Baganda have a saying that omukisa mpewo nebogala okuyingira. Meaning luck is like air. It find its way even to close the door. The same Baganda say that omukisa gujja lumu, chance comes to once in one ozi. If you do not take advantage of it, you lose forever. Yes. The English saying, luck is for the prepared. Interestingly, soccer rotates around omukisa. A Nigerian novel writer illustrated this by saying that one moves with his God inche, provided with luck. In case you don't move with your personal God, you lose also a misfortune. On the military side, Napoleon used to choose his commanders on the basis of their luck. Before he would entrust a general with an assignment, he would consider his previous performance, especially in deadly battles. Businessmen and politicians look for Mr. Luck. And an opponent can die at the peak of an election or can be disqualified for lack of academic papers. A constituency can be divided, giving each his own area. A lucky soccer team can take advantage of confusion in the opponent's luck. Rwanda can place it in a good group where there is no stiff competition. This is how teams like Kenya, Rwanda, Niger, and Angola, all of that Uganda beats in the FIFA and the CAF rankings are more regular in African finals.
Because of luck?
Luck. Bagenda mu bibinja. N'omukisa kugenderako.
Okay.
Ne kocha abeera ne luck. Mugamba buli kibayita omukisa. Guli musajja musiraamu. Okimanyi nti waliwo omukinja ajasala ente erimu akawowo n'etaliimu.
Kituufu.
Tekiriyo.
Gye kiri.
Ne baga nti eyasaze omukono gwe temuliimu. Si binzaali. No.
Kiveeri.
Waliwo omuntu alina olusu ng'omutegeererawo. Wano gundi yayiseewo. Nga ne bwekuba perfume.
Ng'omanya kasigalawo nti gundi.
So ne luck bweri. Some of us we are born lucky.
Okay. Badesa bawumbe soccer.
However, a good soccer coach does not have his team's chances on other teams. I normally hear football analysts saying, if such a team defeats the other, we shall go through. A good coach does not put his hopes on the misfortune of other teams. A good team should be in a position to face an opponent, more so a giant one in the competition. This is what Cape Verde, a country with a 500,000 population, did to Cameroon, an international soccer giant. Another important factor is to distinguish between a battle and war. Politicians must understand that pulling large crowds does not indicate victory. What if those large crowds comprise of voters from outside the constituency? What if they are underage and therefore not eligible for voting? What is important is how of those who are ready to go to the polling station and vote. Likewise, in business, having many customers does not indicate profit. They could demand quality facilities which they would not pay. They could be thieves waiting to take advantage of this large group in the shop. Ask any bar owner, the more patrons crowd it, the more its survival as a business is numbered. These large crowds chase away would be real customers who want a peaceful environment. Likewise, in soccer, some group support is just psychological. We have seen countries hosting the World Cup or any big soccer competition, but they failed to lift the trophy. We have seen hosts who do not advance to the second stage. Home ground support is comparable to cosmetics, which enhance first appearance of beautiful ladies, not every woman. A well-stocked school library does not reflect good grades unless the students read the books, and also these books should be relevant. In motoring, acquiring the most expensive car does not guarantee victory, just as being very vast with the routes does not ensure it. Victory in motoring is a combination of many factors. A good car, good knowledge of the routes, are all just add the advantages. In armed conflicts, one can lose the battle but win the war. Friendly matches, whether in a war or soccer, help the manager to test his team. Remember, a military maneuver doesn't in many cases involve live ammunition. However, it helps to become used to war situations and conditions. The problem with the friendly games is that there is no prize. The whole thing is artificial and psychological and gives little results. Who can risk his leg in a friendly game? Human nature is driven and motivated by the high prize. My assessment of the performance of the Uganda Cranes is summarized as follows. Any team can be defeated whether before a home crowd or away. African teams transfer their witchcraft to football instead of training. In many African countries, witch doctors masquerade as team officials and occupy big positions on the delegation. Why haven't any African team lifted the World Cup, even when it was staged in Africa? Football is a scientific game. It cannot be based on witchcraft. Number two, there is no need for a technical committee to look into the needs of Uganda Cranes. There is a need for a technical committee to look into the needs of Uganda Cranes. Number three, we should understand that other teams like ourselves are looking for the top prize. They have the same pressure like we do. Number nine, we must be mindful of betting companies. Those sole aim is maximizing profits. These are monsters who can take advantage of the poor media practitioners and our players who are sailing in the same boat, who are poor. Number five, having lost in other areas, the national political opposition wants to infiltrate football. This is why they want changes in the FIFA to install their own and use it against the government. If our opposition politicians are soccer fans, why couldn't they demand more funding for sports? They are parliamentarians, those who are MPs. No, sino balimu. Bajja kuwamba buwambi kuonona. Ulindwa n'agenda. Kabushenga bateeka ono bobuvuka ba red paper. Friends of the Quran. Nayo natya mulindwa mu Katoliki. Nakati abakatoliki babiri. Kitaka namugatta nakalema abo. Kasibya abaana bo weekwese kitaka yafalwa nakalema. Omusajja omukulu yali tayinza kukkiriza. Tinte za Museveni zafudde nga aziwadde eddagala efu. Kabushenga ojja kusasula. Nakalema ojja kusasula. Omuntu w'okwera Lawrence Mulindwa. Bwamukuba ne katwala entwe yako ku kisaawe kya Mulindwa ako kaka. Bireyo ennyondo. Waffe temuyinza kulinnya. nyaba alwadde temumwadde yadde ekikumi nga ndaba omukyere gwa State House tubakuba ntubattirayo. Do you celebrate? Muzza kuseka. Have you ever given him? The only NRM person who visited my mother is Lumumba.
Okay.
Lumumba yekka.
Yalinyayo ko kumata.
Mbalabayo. Nemulinyayo waffe tubakuba ntubattira n'emmotoka ntuzoocha. Alijja okuziika ewaffe ajja kugira mu private car.
So si bya government.
Sitoka kubona hiyo namba ya serikali.
Okay.
In many countries, anger is always meted out. Who is financing these breakaway factions? Bakolayo n'omupiira omulala. Ne bateekawo omupiira omulala okutta guno. Essentini wabula bwe kibakubye omutwe ne bakyasa. Nebiteekawo gondi endala. Nebiteekawo bikoya abazanyi. Bikole bitya? Masaza simanyi biki. Waliwo ebyateekawo ekikopo ekirala. Era bitekureni. Biri essenti. Wabula wantu wali bafaanizi. Zambia bane babyasa emitwe bye bibbi. Bane bidduka. Nkugamba. Who is financing these breakaway factions in FUFA? The intelligence agencies should find it. Those who are agitating for changes in FUFA are not new faces. We have stumbled on those same names in the political battles elsewhere. In many countries, anger is always meted out against the coach because he's the expert. Unless he tells us, this coach, after Chipolopolo, unless the coach tells us that he has been failed by FUFA, he takes responsibility because he was acquired for this expert knowledge. In every matches, every competition, the coaches go. Uganda step put. Step put. A coach must go. Taliye kama gogo.
Alinani.
FUFA is a body.
Who heads it?
That's why you make mistakes by reducing everything to Museveni. Even a king has a prime minister.
But ye mwenyini yabyekolera ngomu.
Atia mu designing. Why do I be a rubber stamp? This is what I'm telling Miyingo. Miyingo design.
So abali mu FUFA bali designing.
If you are being used by rubber stamps. Why am I there?
Basobola nga wali yakawo.
Nkugamba. Why is it that the opposition MPs, who are very known for their services, guns for hire, the numbers as we are frequenting the soccer matches, are the ones leading this crusade against the FUFA leadership? I smell a rat and a rotten one because I followed these MPs and know very well that they are always guns for hire. When you see them raising their voices over any matter, be very afraid and take a precaution. In conclusion, our soccer problem is not Lawrence Mulindwa, and his removal will not help Uganda Cranes. We shall end up turning FUFA into another political party under the armpit of the opposition. Has the removal of Bonita helped me? This is why this man bought that vehicle form.
So now let's put it there, Magogo, not Lawrence Mulindwa.
Hey.
Instead of Lawrence Mulindwa.
To the moment you don't solve you fall to Kayigula. Ever since Kayigula left, do you have peace?
Police are charging away.
Yes. Nambagama nti boddi ebigere byonga bye biwunya nojja mu sitokisi era bagoba ku ttebe ekivundu Yes. The problem is not Museveni. Museveni gives you money. Like here when I analyze your newspapers, I laugh at you. This, you see, nabagamba nti bano abali mu gavumenti tebamanyi bupapula bwonna. Kati ono akugamba baagala okugamba ti ekiteeso ekiri mu paalamenti kya muhoozi.
Awo tujja ensonga gye tuddako.
Yes. Kakati okitegedde nti ajjeeyo ebyali mu ddiru ye Lwakitula eby'eddolo mu 35 years ago mbw abanyankola abayima baatuula nti power must rotate. Nakugamba engeri Museveni engeri aba Museveni gye bamaze emyaka 10 nga beetegekera okukyusa ennonda ya president. Museveni tabirimu.
So bagamba proposal related
ono omulenzi, I can tell you
okay.
Why are they panicking? Baali bayitanyira mu musango guno nga balowooza nti bagenda kubagula. Mwenda n'ababba. Sente singo bwengi mwenda yazibba. Yagenda mu Bachina n'agenda omani sente n'azibba nga babyeti ebyawano. Ne bagola ba lawyer $30 million. Abasajja ne bakigwamu ne bagoba pano yonna ne baloya baabwe ne babagoba ne baleeta abalala kakati nga bayimiridde ku kintu kimu ti this young man so to that I'm humiliated ne bategeka ekyankwanza ne ngamba kangende mu ngende naye nali njagenda naye nali eddame lyange lyali liwedde nali njakalanda gomutenzo famire ya Mirundi tejogeba kwa bwali bujja kujja nakono katonzi kakajijimbo blowing kakati bwe bamala okuvayo ne bategeera mbunze I should retract my recordings njogere to apologize to aboga ndi tumwebaza nengana centers blocking is a president mugende kyekubiza n'otuuka woli kakati bwe bategeera nti bali abasajja babazinzeeko tumwebaza was supposed to go on the third ne beekwasa covid na buno obupya Museveni n'akola liberalization nga tumwebaza yino okugenda kati babeera disparate kwe kusalawo baleete ebyo mu parliament bayaabwe I can embarrass the speaker, I can embarrass the chief justice, I can embarrass everybody. The process of removing the Kadaka. Somebody look at you say, I have my project. How can you have a project in the country?
In the country.
I have my reforms. How can you have Bob Tambi but the videos? I can check this country.
Personal reforms was it Amugwang Damba?
Kadaka again. He cannot win among you.
Okay.
This young man knows when he abuses Easterners, those ones are fools. I can only deal with the Northerners. Baganda can only help me to get money. The Banyankole hate him much. In fact, the Banyankole brought to 5 cows to me. The Banga to worry the Wagenda.
Nothing to gain.
To gain day. Now they come Omrizona to Tenya Mataga Payala Mule Bay, sitting in to sitting in Mecca at Nigirizanyu. Where are you going to get votes? If we abuse every man on the village and the woman, we are going to marry. They cannot allow you to take a wali. But in the process of removing people like a Kadaga, humiliating Kadaga, Kadaga must go. Nagundi, 5 billion.
Nankabiro
must take on Kadaga, Bear Nako. Never to Zang and Kung and Wakategi. I told you Kategi. Order the meeting in Nazimukubi. Ngakati musajja wewa ekyotera oyo chairman namukubira essimu namugamba bakuweereza kumpi billion namba musuule kasolo ne kasolo nimuyita nimugala bakukola
kasolo aveyo sango begende
sango begende batuleetera matamabuku I'm going to challenge matamabuku akasajja
tova question
mwebaze dayewa
katunye kundo amazi tukomite
mwebaze boboli musajja dayewa
katono nnyo
we can allow you to say sango becho mukibi
abatugobera ku Facebook abatugobera ku YouTube mwena mbebaza ngina kwebaza omukuru Moses okuva Somalia wali Mogadishu agamba mzeitame bakutumiddeko nnyo kwe bali batwa ba Somalia Mogadishu mukuru Moses ne team yo mwena mbebaza okuba ntino kwemuli omuno mukyala mama Ajara wali Bungereza Forest Gate nawe nkwebaza kugamba nti kwoli era mwena mbebaza wamuna abagala mwenago ayagala okuba nti nyirirako bulungi bakusale bulungi akaviri bakoleko bakamasajja akategerekeka Jobal Sound wali emakindira kuba kutereza bungi yakuba oterera mpozi mzeitama labagala okunyirira balagako wa blender zibite wa nene ngena kuba nti nsoko kuba nti mbawa mawulire age blender ngena kuba nti mbawa mu yagenda kunfunye wana mawulire agalaga nti no aigigi afiridwa mama we wali mudwalire mulago aigigi betikamya mama we afudde wali mudwalire mulago kama aberenga amugumya aberenga amusasira mzita mali
owange bwali fate muli nyanga yo bwe bali bocha
ekyo kyogedde
nena kalema president yagamba I want to sibu kulumunanga muwenyeza ambule nakalema ngatudde wali ngomu kugunalwe muli nyange we don't want temuletanga mabukogamu we don't want ofe temuzanjirayo I come from a rich family, very powerful family. Ate mukuru wange yakagobako. Twafiirwa mwenye nafu. Ngafudde mutima. Nabuuza twali tututte miliyoni ezi. Bazimpa mu State House. Naga nti be batwala ebweru ab'emitima ngowote bamu.
Ngono kati bamututte.
Twala sente zo yazikopa miliyoni.
Yazizira.
Mukuru wange yakopa miliyoni 5. Nazikulie batambi bakukyala mwenye. Ewafe wasaga.
Siba.
Ile fesaga. Ejogebwa. Bano bali tebatumanyi. This boy is good at antagonizing me. I come from a very powerful family.
We wow.
Muzeta
mali. Jabdu issue kuba no ba MPs.
Linda soko linde. Nkugamba. Where I want me to go. It was reported that government had allocated 500 billion to schools to alleviate.
Jabana bazi amasomero gaguddewo.
Nemba gamba miyingo. Listen this money. To have given money to these hotels, you just go with a voucher. They are now talking about a loan.
Student Siron.
Miyingo. Siron is he. How did you distribute?
Government gave out money to alleviate schools.
Leave the Syrian. Good. This is not loan. We are not talking about loan. They are now shifted to loans. We want a breakdown or withdraw it.
Tezabaddeyo.
500 billion.
Government just that day okubadde ku masomero.
Allocate it Miyingo.
Mzee Mchimanyi amjja amasomero gagudde. Amasomero sante gagudde ula kubanga gabanjibwa.
Tunabagambi tuwentegera abasajja bano nti bafere. No, in many cases where you have to deal with the students, teachers, issues, schools, they talk with UNATO leaders.
That is
where are the UNATO leaders? Muyingo katukubireko mu ngalo ne team yo. Me, I don't attack the first lady. The first lady, I don't expect the first lady to do again. Ngamuseveni bwe defending. I defend all the first lady. They announced 500 billion. Where is it? Yes, spread it. Miyingo. Wasi gozi lidde Miyingo fuluma. Tujja kutunda amasomero gwe bujja.
Waliwo essomero balita Makerere Highway College. Abaana jo bagenze okuba nti balipotinga. Basa essomero liggale. Landlord ng'agamba nanyiri bizimba agamba nti abanje essomero era. Amasikali sente ezo bali zinakola ku bintu ng'ebyo. Ziri luddawa.
Kakati bino byolaba bino. Ebya COVID. Bano be babiteekayo. Abasajja bagambye. Museveni yalagidde n'ebisaawo. Tumwebaze bamutaddeko $5 million. If he does not appear. He was supposed to appear on the 3rd. Ne batuula naye ne bamusiibula kati ono bwanyiiga ennyo munne n'aga nti let me intimidate Museveni. In fact it is a coup. Uyu musajja Kafuzi is a coup. Mukayuri Kafuzi is a coup. This is a coup.
How is it a coup? How is it a coup?
And Kugambi, it does not originate from when Ali structures. Cadres, who's the cadres? Where are the cadres for the
abagamba nti bagana kuba nti baleeta okulonda
Muyori Kafuzi ate kidio wakiwonoka yatidde
Mzee Tamale bakaders bavudde nga bagamba nti kati president MPs bagana kuba mulonda.
Do you know what it means?
But muga mwalete dembe Museveni alete dembe democracy na bichi.
Let me tell you toyogera rubbish twita gamba tutudde nti mufunyisa omwe twasajja olubuto. That's rubbish.
Tutudde
ni mtu ulani mugandi nti omukazi azalire mukamwa. You were stupid.
So what about the rubbish?
Yes, because the constitution of Uganda, ekyetaagisa okubaako referendum, vests the power to choose leaders by who?
Bantu.
Era are you saying it is going to percolate nga ne chairman wa 5 alondebwa
electoral college?
No, you be confused. Omanyi some lawyers did not do law. Kafuzi did law material. Is it law? Has no law degree. Has a degree in law material.
Lo material yeriwo.
Anti waliwo lo material.
Lo material yeriwo.
Lo material ngaye soma lo material. Kati nga kubolaba kungulu osoma olaba lo.
Kubanga muli.
Obanga constitution yegamba nti all people shall derive their powers.
Yes.
President bamuleetya proposal nti olukiiko lwa Kampala tubeeremu be experts. Nabaga nti what are we going to do with the constitution? Kampala is an authority with elected directors.
Yes.
All of the councillors are elected because they could not go away.
True.
Nti mayor alondebwa. This is the principle Father Tawasa. Kafuzi design.
Mzee Tamale.
Mzee Tamale. Kafuzi design. You have ashamed the lawyers. Attorney General oba Museveni abajjawo. Nedda baba muleetera. Museveni kye bamukola. Baddira abantu abagezi abalungi ne babattira mu vetting. Be banaakozesa mu future. I can embarrass this country. Teri mukulu mu gavumenti muwano oyo gwatayogerangako naye nga preparinga projekiti putting people here, putting people there. Yagamba tumaze okugoba nakyobi agenze yabadde awa Mirundi sente alinawo zimuwe nakanga akawala nazikajjako bamutwala olutwalo zikima nze nga mumanyi nti ono bamukulidde akalimanjovu yalowooza nti can defeat me bali baagala mukube mujjewo.
Okay. Mzee Tamale, proposal ne yaleteddwa etuuse mu public ekifunye mu bwongo.
Debating it is wrong.
ekifunye mu bwongo nti they are paving way for Muhoozi.
Muhoozi is popular. Ono yennyini ono oyo omuvubuka lwabwe ogwo yayagala okukangasiza alawe to have the powers in the parliament. Arrest him. Arrest Kafuzi.
Sija Muhoozi.
Muhoozi is popular. Neyoni yagamba nti abayisitaani abasiru I prefer to work with the Northerners. The Baganda can only help me for business. Kati akalwogenda kajja. That's why ayita mukamuli. Ekita soboka.
Tayala gena popular
vote yaba. Mu muzikiti katolu ina swala nebo yita mu lugirwe manji. Nebo yinda imamu na agenda.
Woto ina wuzu ne wita. Totosobola kuswate ne wosate tuka.
You cannot impose yourself on the people.
Chitufu.
The moment you rape your fiancé, it means you have detected and he is going to drop you.
Nimze Tamale empyote bitandika okujja wano.
Empyote bitandika okujja.
Era ne bibale biyita.
Tayina wakisa era kibadde mu New Vision ono munne gwe yatwalayo. Nkugambye nti I'm helping you to discuss it. Why? Nti ani alaba omwezi. Where? Because I tell you nti abakulembeze bayina gye bakozesa ba turn courts to gauge a system. Ti Mbabazi yakozesa Kasujja James. Museveni abata nalayira nti emyaka 7 twembala si Museveni.
Okay.
Kasujja kakoza wezi turn court. Wali wekiseja bakita yingiriya kafeyo. Nekikati gwe wayapula nembwana oyo. Nekikati simanyi parliament yeyongereyo. Parliament can only extend itself under emergency.
True.
When you fight inside the parliament, are you creating an emergency?
No.
Yes. Tibategeera bali abagezi babitomeza babiwasente ne byasama. Especially Biganda byagala nnyo bagaye nti tufune federal kakati kankobozi Simego Nsubuga yasooka emyaka 75 ayinaki ekyama dokero bwikiti abanene sente ne bazitwala
nekasanda byamu
Simego Nsubuga singa kyuma kya Yesu yamukuba omutwe yalifunyemu sigamange bamutana alifunyemu
tewali.
A few days after my mother surviving lynching nalweso nennakalema batuula walinga onu yabatumi nalweso aganze nali simanyi nakiriwo omukulu ayagala 5 billion. Yeah, if this man wants to access this man to go to New Vision, I will never go to New Vision.
So once
I know that you are involved, I don't go. Buli kantu konna koonaleeta ffe bwe tuba tuzannya omweso buli olwalaba omutwe gutemeko buli lwaleeta influence nga njigaana buli lwaleeta influence nga njigaana era yabagambye nti Mirundi is dangerous. So, when we are dealing with other people webasaliddewo ne bagamba nti tetujja kugenda wa heri bagambye tetujja kugenda katutabuke naye tumwonene. But you see, Museveni has no powers now. You agreed because nabagamba timwe temuyina magezi. If you wanted Museveni to save you, you would have agreed to create an internal tribunal.
Okay.
Later, we have had allegations from a madman that people are being killed for and extracting their organs. We have instituted a tribunal in the midst of Harris. You deal it with the matter. You refuse. Mbu katulinde nemugula abamawuli billion 10 kubanga tujja kukyogera nga tuwangudde. We can do. We are seeing gulinde bali abazungu babali asente.
Mzee Tamale.
Tumwebaze bamutaddeko bote of $5 million for failure to attend. We shall remain on. We are not going to go anywhere. We shall remain here on Zoom. Ngani.
Bulikana oyogera ku nsonga ya human organ trafficking.
Yes.
Waliwo alati genda bibonera eva mu United Nations. Era nge ewoninga abantu okutagenda balimbibwa Volo companies basala mu East Africa, Middle East okumali bafuna emirimu. Era nga buli kimu kyabwere nenga bagamba nti abantu abasinga bagenda ne bayanga batibwa. Era nga bagamba nti
we are documenting.
Pakisa abantu zitubwa.
Bannange tuwandikira abantu okulinane wa minister Nankabiro weyaze.
Nankabiro. Ensonga ebwana ko yogera kwanga buli omwasise nega even evudde ne bange
chiko. Watoto wetu yuko hapa. Nankabiro. Aba bana bewandikiranga ebwo baliwo.
Bawandikiranga
this organic case is going to change this.
But why is everybody quiet about this? What you go back and organic case in?
Owange bamutta. Nze ntya. If you kill me, every maggot is paid for by a human being from your family. Namutegera family ya famanyi geina kunsiku. Ako kamwenda kanda ba mu motoka yako ne kajikuba ekyo kati ne mfulumu. Ani kansanga mu dwali. Kabuuze kanti dada. A person who can enter your vehicle. Katobate wajingiridde kakati soko tuno ye monitor omanyeze ekinjagaze
ebintu tunakumaliza gundi proposal eri
eko cyo kunera bis ono yasooka kola headlines
awachi
kati ono nalaga ku earpiece kati ali wano kakati okumanya muli basiru basajja
ani kakwenza
okumanya ba monitor basiru bakola bagambye aba naye muyino obwongo mmwe bagambye bagambye Polodis Kakwenza dead or alive court kakati you were stupid. Let me explain it, monitor people. You were stupid. You were very stupid people. You said that the Human Rights Commission moved from prison to prison, moved from cell to cell. He was nowhere to be seen. Kakati, if he is nowhere to be seen by an authoritative organ like a Human Rights Commission, an internal auditor that has the powers to visit everywhere, babudeyo kukola kitegeeza kakati abamonita singa mbadde muyina amagezi mwali gambi let court declare this man dead who is a nekizai
mukyala we
atakulaba
mukyala we yavuddeyo jonga lamentinga
this is a gutter newspaper. This is a gutter.
Mukyala we yavudde nga lamenting about embeera omwami gyalimu yakoma okumulabako nga ali tortured amagulu gazimbye yajja bamuleta ewaka nga bazze okusakinga ewaka.
I don't condone violations. I'm a victim.
Yes. Even the president yavudde n'awoninga police.
Yes.
Eve ku nkola ekumanyi etulugunya abantu.
Kyobala bano byo omusajja buno bwetto omwana wange ne buli ali ne bukola olwo ne kwandeetako ekyokulyako lyonna. Aikani era ne butusinga n'omwetta munne. Kakati nkugamba I don't condone this.
Yes.
But the problem you made nti mwe muyina endowooza you see they don't think arrogance. Segirinya and this man are small people. But you made it to appear they must be released at all costs. Nimutelekerawo government to maneuver. Kubanga a criminal must be released at day akole. This was the strategy during BCG's time. Whoever is arrested for creating mayhem in the city,
violence
is arrested, is released at day akole. This is what they did. Abana bano abakuba abantu mu Buganda riot bonna babata unconditional bademu bakole
kintu kyekimu.
Yes, in spite of the damage. Kakati mu obusiru bw'abano kye bubaddewo nti we normally say let the law take its course.
Yeah.
But you started badly. You started by saying this man abused Muhozi. There are many people who have abused Muhozi. And they are known.
Yeah.
Have you been arrested?
Yes.
What if abusing Muhozi was done for defense? Nti omusiramu bwetunakwatira mu bwenzi nti omusiramu nabuvuddemu era bakuba amayinja n'okuva mu busiramu kikusa n'obukatuliki okubuvamu bakutta. In the old times okuva mu bukatuliki n'ofuuka omuprotestant bakusibanga ku nzigi za Roma buli ayitawo nakuba oluli paka kufa. N'obukatuliki tebuviibwa mbulinga busiraamu. Yes, mu bitabo ebikadde.
Okay.
Kakati if you commit an offense, are we going to put it to start a precedence that once you commit an offense, when you commit an offense, abuse Muhozi and go away with it, is it going to be the practice?
No.
That once a sheikh catch you eating a pork, you say you converted. Obututadi is punishable.
Yes, true. By death.
Obututadi in Islam is punishable. You cannot defend yourself. Musa the one yang and
the worse than
yes. This is what I'm telling you. Nti mulina ebintu byemulaba ne bibagera. Omusajja yayingira obulokole n'asigaza erinnya ly'obusiraamu. Feesi baagiyira asiti. Amanyi g'ensigo ogamanyi. Lwaki waliwo yasala oyingidde obulokole yasala embizi. Even God can punish you.
True.
You are provoking people to kwegamba unyigirizo nnyo mirundi n'obujozi bwo. You've made me a victim. That's why TVs and radios offer me in spite of your influence and money. Balaba omusajja abakubiddeko abadde tagambwako. Ejjuuko lyonna n'abateeka munda weyazinga olugosa abantu ne balaba yamukuba ne baga nti enkyatambula nti atambula. Kakati bano kye balina okukola kiri kimu. That practice Monitor declared diplomats will not work. Monitor gives itself power and arrogance to choose certain people who are human and who are not. If you did not involve yourself in an arrogant manner, court says, kati chigani. Kati musonjo editor wa Monitor kati chigani. Do you know that Monitor is a spoiler to this family?
How?
Yes, arrogance.
Arrogance, okay.
Monitor's arrogance. In fact, Monitor is doing a disservice to this man. If I was a family member, I would tell the Monitor, shut up. Yes, temuchiddamu. Let us handle the issue amicably. Bakete. Okasite kabakete ne basegirinya segiri. Kati okyali kubayo.
Kyekibira segirinya mukomera kubandi bahypinga ekintu ki.
Singa nyina wa segirinya. Yasaba we n'alaba president.
Humble. Nebo tulina okumuzeta no muzeta amali.
Ekyo yalwala.
Ekyo kifu. Omuntu abakoze tulina kwegayirira.
Kayanja yalwala. Byengoma ne bamugamba asasulie Kayanja mu ddali. N'agaana n'ayogera ebigambo bibi nnyo. Mama wa Kayanja yajja. N'alaba president. Museveni n'ayita baddokita. Mama wa Kayanja n'amugamba nina omwana ogwo. Omu. Oyo yekka. Nange njagala kuwanga agenda afiire mu nnyonyi. Nga bamayumba bwe bafiirayo. Museveni respectinga abantu.
N'amuteeka.
He cannot release you. Naye mama wagundi yali mugaye nti omwana abaana bakola ebizibu.
Abaana basobya.
N'abange mbasiba. Naye bo bano balowooza nti bukedde bwakuba mutegeere n'ekyokubiri nti a failed call is punishable by a purge. Muyinza okuba nga abantu bano be bakwata be bafoolinze kuba n'abadde baagala okuwamba gavumenti.
Bano bakakwenza.
Nga kati force ebadde bajjayo tekyasobola bakolaki
kuba
defendinga. When things fall apart, the center cannot hold it.
True.
Yes. Muyinza okuba nga mmwe kati mubadde muyina netiwaaka yammwe
ebadde ekola emirimu underground.
Netiwaaka Museveni agikubi agimazeewo agikubi ekitegeeza kati abaali babajjayo
tebakyana buyinza obwo na busobozi bukikola.
Nti omusajja Besigye olumu abeeramu n'amagezi. Besigye alina lwasirika ku kintu
natakisinyako
munanga nti oyo ekyamukuba naye weno aliyingizayo mu ssabo. Besigye alina ekintu is informed. Besigye ategeera naga nti oyo sijja mulwanirira, oyo ali mu bino balwana bokka. That's why you don't see Besigye shouting at everybody. Olumu yabagamba when I'm arrested, who releases me? This is struggle. It's not my struggle. Don't think that whenever you are arrested, basically you come and bail you out. It's your struggle.
Chitufu.
No. This one, I'm going to say, yebonyabonya omwana ono. Colored future. Tuchita mugulama. Colodios.
Dead or alive?
Alive. Kati baganya kasajja gwaka monitor. Kati genda olumuru. Genda olulumi. Genda olumuru. Mbo eroya. Scott summons Bujingo for threatening lawyer. Do you believe that I can exchange words with you? Bolo was until no family to think and I'm going to lawyer. Do you wish me good? Avoid me. I can smash you. But you know, Bujozi, what are we talking about human in nature?
Talking about lawyers. Yes. Lawyer Malema Birizi yasigaddenga. Lawyer Malema Birizi yasigaddenga yeewuunya era ng'akunkumula amatu ng'embuzi ekubiddwa enkuba ng'agamba nti DPP yajja emisango Robert Kyagulanyi yali yamuteekako egy'okuba nti nno yayingira Makerere.
It means tulina magezi.
Lawyer talina magezi.
You have been found a liar. Kajja kudduka wonna kuba kakozesaako bajja kukabiteeza kekali mugondi East African Court of Appeal nange kali kanereze muneka katugende mu court bimu bonyondo zilete summons zinkwasa omutwe zisina buddebo nga bakakoze nalinjo ko sekole nyondo omuntu akoze kali kana katone kali emputa nga tebana bitu wali sabuni emmese ne kakeketo okutu kekali ku Museveni kekabambira kabaka kekali ludda bakaluga kitawako yakakulimira kamutwala mu koti n'akakolimira kalifa akakoleebi paka ne kalifuna yakabambula ennyondo mu mutwe kati takulanganze atazanyirwa kunikayingiza tulera
mulimo yasigadde agamba kireka gwe nakolera government lwaki musango government yegumujjako.
It means you are not a reliable man, you are stupid. Court has found that what you are saying is right. You've lost the value. Don't make a noise. You've lost the value. You kill cases. So that people learn it with people run away. You were using this. There are times when Luchamus became a nonsense. Yes. Nga bwoba yagala NRM eyiseemu ekintu kyakyo nga Luchamus omugamba nakiwakanya. Whenever Luchamus opposed NRM ekintu mu NRM nga NRM bakiyisa. Waliwo wootuuka nga nobody listens to you.
Kati kyekiri ku mabiri
mabiri has lost value. If he is a piece of paper, is fit to produce toilet papers.
No.
Yes.
No. That is again
does the DPP have powers to drop cases? He has. Why do we have a DPP who is a judge? Not waste the court's time.
Yes.
This one is a drunkard. This one is a fool, is an idiot. Uyu musajja tubayita mu propaganda tubayita media maniacs. Nikera bakoma uli nikera banobutabu simanyi bakatadde kupiika monitor nakakuba n'obugwagwa kagenda n'obutabu
ali mulo ya bulingi nga muganda wange watero
gamba media akabwali batawandikiddwa akalwala ne bakuwana no bakakubira esimu musajja wa amaanyi ne bakakubira esimu. What have you done? Which case have you ever won? The Baganda have a saying nti utagalanga mvi
envy zitagala butagazi.
They have never killed a human being.
Envy.
The Baganda say envy is a disease that is confused. Instead of concentrating on human being and kill him, they move to another one. They move to kabera kabaka kaduka yo ekene kabera ku Museveni mu East African Court of Appeal ekene katabali bajja kubatola kasajja kwe bajja batula bali bekwesi bakakozesa ko kanyumirwa ojja kutaba kali kantabadde nekagamba samonizire nakalinda tekajja nkakubempi nkamalewo
mzee Tamale
bali bakaguze nga nkawulira ku byuma nali nkawulidde ku byuma nga bakaguze mukange kuja hapa nzo ija tuleve otegere nti Mirundi yaleka omwana
ye musiru asobola okujja gyoli.
You cannot intimidate me. I have 2 lawyers.
Mzee Tamale nga twogera ku nsonga
ya my children are lawyers.
Nga twogera ko
Good lawyers. But I don't believe in wasting my time.
Nga twogera ko Bati Kyagulanyi malema bizigwa bali gagamba nti bamujjeko omusanga kwa government. Robert Kyagulanyi yavudde n'abanga naye yakangude ku ddoboozi n'abanga addiza ebigambo ebitali biwoomekerevu eri omukulu Muhoozi Kanyerugaba nga mugamba nti avaata n'abeera nga yawaanye Andrew Mwendo okuba nti yayambadde ebyambalo by'amagye ate so nga ate abaana bangi aba NUP abavundira mu makomera olw'okuba nga efaaniriza ebyamagye.
I tell you, much as I hate this cowboy, I hate him. More than I hate himself.
Andrew Mwendo.
They connived against me and killed my political career. Even God cannot reconcile with them. Ako bakwata biliyoni 10 ne baziteeka mu mmotoka nga bagiguze bazireeta ewange ne kapanga banzita ekiro nenzibalekera. Omusajja omu nagende wa president namugamba nti omwana oyo atukolera nnyo tumuwe biliyoni 10 tuyite ne famire ye namugamba antono tumuwaaga tumuwe biliyoni mmeka 2 bwe yazireeta namugamba nti wayi ziteeka why do you want to bribe him nja zimwewera zagenda mu kalulu myayina Museveni kakati akasajja ako sikaagala.
Yes,
but I can understand the situation. Nabagambye tuyina kye tuyita embedment. When the journalists are going to cover a war, they put on their country's military uniforms. Kubanga tugeze mugenda mu operation camouflage uyino kwambala ngaki
ngamajenga
mulutala yamba shati enjeru abawa UN peacekeeper they put on white to be seen. But if you are going to be in the military, they would even all the journalists who want to cover the war bali badde baba training ni muchaka
afune skill afune art of war.
Art of war. Kakati in that you can put on a military uniform after being cleared by the military.
Okay.
Kubanga the uniform belongs to who?
To the military.
We would ask, we have seen an ordinary person in a bar in a military uniform. But if I see this cowboy boarding an helicopter to the war zone, then I can obwongo bwangata bujja put on a military fatigue because he was going to war.
To war, okay.
Nabadda ino bafanana. Do you get, does the president right to the Chankwanzi principle to allow these people to put on military
attires? Ngabali Chankwanzi?
No. Do they come with them at home? No. What does it mean? Quick identification at Chankwanzi. Is their uniform. Many people who want to intimidate people to appear in uniform, even you go. Do you know that many people went to Muchaka causes to run guns? So therefore, I look at it in a different way. Banechibakola obubi not to explain.
Mozo kuve munayogera bwatyo mawulire. Nga muli fole abantu abalina obulimi ku mitima gya wana bali makomera.
Kyenkubulya kiri kimu. Nti olumu mumisukuoti nga deliberately.
What did we misquote? What did we misquote Mzee Tamale?
Military, kakati tugeze. Moi yali civilian.
Okay.
Kenya.
Okay.
But because Moi was commander in the chief of the Kenyan Armed Forces, Kenya eriyo ekyambalo ky'amagye ekya commander in the chief kya field marshal. Ye kyambala. Ba president ba Kenya basinga obungi bayeri baki.
Ekitegerekeka. Of being a president.
Yizone uhuru anti ekugambye. Uniforms tugeze. President nga agenza okulambula factory y'eddagala. Tebamwambaza gawuni zaayo.
Bamwambaza.
But you surrender them immediately
ng'ogenda okufuluma.
Why? Cleanliness naki.
True.
So, bano bo balema kunnyonnyola. Tiolete muyina anga yammwe.
Obuzibu buli balimi okunnyonnyola.
This one has been cleared by the military. The people what this man is talking about, Bobby Wine, logically, is killing his case. Bobby Wine is saying, it is true that you caught some of my boys burning military fatigue.
Bobby akakasizza.
Kambi logic yakuba mmwe.
Bobby nafuna wakana wa. Akakasizza bana bakwa bakati ansonga ntufu.
Yes. Kakati ojajja kugamba nti yes, but the two are different. This one has been done what? Cleared. Mulimu abaana abamu baana babasomesa. Batambula ne ba parents baabwe. Kati abaana babasomesa abo osanga omwana nga yali mulenzi nga yasomera mu ssomero ly'abawala. Don't be surprised ng'omwana mulenzi
yasomera mu ssomero ly'abawala
yasomera mu girls school.
Namuwulirako.
Ayiya Lukyamazi yasomera mu girls school.
Namuwulirako nange. I want to mention naye namuwulirako.
Why? Yatambulanga ne bakadde. Maama oyo yali musomesa oba kitaawe. Kakati goyinza okuga nti ono rapist kuba tumukwatidde mu ssomero ly'abawala. Yes. Okay. Homosexual has been cleared. The issue is being cleared by the military. The owners of this uniform. Kati Bobby Wine implicates these people. Bobby Wine implicates abantu. Abaana abange be bakwatira mu uniform nga bazambala bo babasiba. You have one confirmed nti
babakwatanga bambadde ki?
Two, they were not cleared by the military. This one has also been cleared by so tuki kyenkugambye tukiyisa decision making, situation evaluation.
Okay.
How does this differ from this one?
Yes.
When I tell Muyingo to resign, I quote nti mmwe mwennyini mu mawulire gammwe
temunnakijjamu
family bill zayise yafulumiza bilioni meka 5
yamba ku masomero.
You show us the breakdown.
Zalazeewa.
Attacking you not from air I'm attributing. So how can you arrest me?
Kubanga olina wokijja
nabano wenna bakwatira. You have said the voices are not yours. So you have given me permission to continue playing them. If you said those are my voices and I'm going to charge him with encroaching on my privacy, you've come and said the voices are not yours. They are fake.
Something interesting from here. Waliwo omukulu agambye namanya Moses from Mbarara agambisa Tamale ku price y'amata. People from Western baga mata n'ennyama. We are very tired. Bonga abantu mu Western region baga bakoye monopoly ya Rwabogo. Okuba nti yasalawo amata n'ennyama bigula sente mmeka babikoye.
Ne bagamba baagala try ebeere embalala. Kakati onawangula atya kalulu. nga tebakwagala era ne banakuyisa mu kamoli, people will pound the street.
Kituufu.
Ate tusobola n'okukola referendum nti bano abali mu parliament batuliddemu olukwe bayiike engalo bizaabwe zonna zisejjembe
tuzikasuka ebweru
zonna tuzikasuka ebweru balidde sente. Nabagamba, you see, for me, I'm a mass communicator. I told them that this organic case has solved the succession battle in Uganda very early.
Organic case kan njikiririzamu kubanga kenda byo ending na HCC.
Buli muntu yenna ali indicted for extracting organs from Ugandans cannot play any role in the future.
In the future, true.
Tudire oba president tububawe abatemu
tekisoboka.
Oba mubadde mbikola linga temuli mu power.
Olwo munafuna obuyinza.
Disqualified mwalidde embizi. Kakati bwe kyalina okukola problemu yaabwe. Who can protect their wealth? Two, they are going to become fugitives in Uganda. Niye ekyamwebaza muteekako $5 million kati ne fugitiveness mu Uganda kubanga bw'osoma international law osoma international relationship bakugamba domestic law prevails over foreign law.
Yeah.
Why? Interpol bwemugigaana okujja bano balina kubeera hunted down like the Nazis. Why didn't you think about this? Why shouldn't a nun think before having sex that once I fall pregnant I will be if we want to be a leader of a country your sent mubyamata mumubyenya mumubyennuni mumuyinampolopole buli kintu kyonna muyina emitindi gya sente nabaloga that is you operated under the influence of which kula
Tamale oli mulogo
shiriki oye shiriki juu
oli mulogo.
Explain. Tumwebaze came when he was a pauper. I saw Tumwebaze with this jointed shoes nga deputy like this. You have acquired all of this wealth. Then what forces you, unless you are bewitched, what forces you to sell the human organism? Era nembalemesa wonna akali batembi eryo dogo temuzanyisanga dogo likola, especially when you are innocent. Emyaka 8 gyonna nanyini buyinza alowooza I'm playing games with Mirundi. You don't know, he'll come and kneel before me. He told the Dr. Byaruhanga, no, let us hide the money. Maybe Aruhanga will pathology same. Let us hide the money so that he comes kneeling. A man to kneel. How much money that my family cannot achieve for me? How much money do you believe I don't have a loan in the bank?
It's not about money, it's about integrity.
Integrity. If I was a woman, omusajja nandepinga munyigo omukonda nengumenya onzita naito damu kurepinga balala. I will pick these people that money, privilege, influence and wealth cannot defeat him.
Mzee Tamale, ngakukyali gutya omukulu omwogezi wa poliisi Enanga yavudde n'agamba nti anaawoninga bana Uganda essaawa twandikugwako twandifuna terror attacks ng'ezaliwo olw'emabega era tubeere vigilant.
I pity the Ugandan police.
Why?
I pity Enanga sinza musomesa. Manyi mugezi but he is a pretender.
Msajja mugezi?
Yes, Enanga mugezi. Era namugamba tiawandike ekitabo Inside My Mind. Kuba to cover lies is not easy. Enanga is an intelligent man.
He's covering lies?
Yes. Kakati kankubuuza. Any security organ will know. Many people bazimba hotels ne bars point odi Entebbe road. Olwajjamu eri mu Kampala osobola okuva mu Kampala essaawa 4 ogera kulinnya Nyonyi essaawa 6 n'obeera wali ku 6 onoobeera ku Freedom gundi Freedom City oba niyaawo apo tweri nga jjamu y'omu Kampala
ogibuuse.
Kakati today these who invested in this on the Entebbe road invested them a lot of money. They know that if traffic shifts to the highway, they have no business. Like any other African, balina kuparalyzinga luguudo lulinga balutirako abantu badduke. Enanga. That I understand.
But between Cuba
from intelligence tubuuza who benefits from this?
Okay.
You paralyze it. bajja tulemesa abantu batyayo babakubirayo simanyi gundi
bukiri
yes there's no police patrol tekuliko ki tebayinza kukkiriza ate bakola ensobi tekuliko bizimbe bizimbiddwako mpozi banagula existing wanozi kakati the only person ayinayo ebizimbe ebyamaanyi is ham
ate nabyo bya business bya
gundi factory abantu apartments kakati olwo oluguudo tebaluteekako business balowooza ebya Uganda tebikola kakati they are realizing mugende mu bibuga byonna wene Masaka bakola oluguudo oluyita ku Toto ne luyunga ku Mbalala Masaka was affected
yes
motoka tunuulira it is a change of drivers bw'obaawo driver ayimirira embizinya ab'embizinya bakola nga ayinawo omukazi kubanga ayinawo business kati omukazi ashifutinga n'agenda mu Lwera erukaya basi teziyimirirawo you ask these bus operators and those market vendors either one of the bus man bamuwa ebyobwerere oba ayinawo
omuntu
oba ayinawo interest but once the road shifts ne lulayivatinga ekibuga ne luyita emabega waakyo ewaffe kaliisizo the city was concentrated nga oluguudo lwekyo teluli awo when this road was constructed kaliisizo shifted for a long time nadda kweno kukola sempya because the same people we invested there cannot even easily transfer their buildings to another main road now any security person would know who is the financing who wants to paralyze. And when you leave the businessmen apart, another group that is going to be affected, the petrol stations.
Petrol stations, yes.
A highway, you must move with a full tank.
True.
There is no petrol station on this highway.
Teriko.
Over Eriwa Mamerito, Paka Antebe. A petrol station is on Nazi aware that once this is shifted, you have also to shift.
Shifting another day.
Enanga group siyimaji. Group of emerge mwemuli n'obwaba yekera muleme kukosa kumisi nga kigambo buyekera obuyekera means something big an attack
okumanya obuyekera webuli
rebels attack an attack means attacking from different directions
okumanya obuyekera webuli bakwate 15 ne bagenze before court martial ewo omukulu
anti bwe kudi ebintu
abantu 15 balamba
bakugamba tibwo bato ina byakulya odira mwenyoko n'omuyita omugenyi tuyinayo omugenyi eyo kubanga omukaali ankoko nze kampapuulire nze nebinzesa omuvubuka yazze mwiba bagamba timba mu TV kati nga neekajindi buninayo ejjiini erinfaanana
yazakakase
mba ntudde ewange ewaka ku Sande omuvuka n'abuuka ekikomera n'akigwamu natandika okuŋŋaanya engo nga tamanyi nti wendi nomujimba nanemuba mutti sajja naŋŋandi oli mugenyi wa nti nedda iwange sebo nfukamidde mbadde simanyi nti wawo naye enjala yetutta mbadde njagala kubba bugoyi mwana wa myaka nga 18 ng'abaana bange kiki nti muzeeyi
enjala ennuma
mpalambye ekikomera nga manyi tewali muntu nzize kubba ngoye nange endondeko namodde emitwalo
2
nemugagenda
alhamdulillah
ekyengera
awo mzee Tamale obula socha muri
I'm explaining ojimanyi nti these people are looking for what to eat
bwekiri
Uganda teyina charitable organizations
ninga ani atutusizaawo
anti nkubuulira
no ani atutusizza ku mbere okumanya abantu bayala but first ani atutusizaawo
listen nabagamba nti mulumbi emirimu gy'obusiraamu mwe muvudde abaana okugenda mu buyeekera kakati butoda bwe bagijjaawo njawulo kino ekibiina kye bataddewo kirimu amataawo nabali baali bayina and city council yasooka kusoloza ssente ezo ne tutendalinga by tendering you go to more money katika na agabbika city council kaagala okuteekayo ab'amataawo mubakyaginga emmotoka mujja kudduka
bagayizi bagobeddwa naye tebalabiddwako jjo nga mu kibuga mwe bali bakola
olidde Museveni yagamba bamulimba nti utoda esoloza ssente overcharging nembaga nze omulimu ngumanyi a driver is entitled to one day lwa Sande mutumuwa kondakita tetumumanyi oba ojesoloza ekondakita is not known to us bagabana nani kakati kugamba ti emmotoka ya taxi bw'ogitunda kati uncertainty emotoka ya taxi tuyina obuzibu tikamunyenkadde tezikyajja zino gundi drone ziri ku million 8 kakati the issue is I invest million 8 mu motoka in uncertainty mu kibuga kimugenda
okugobamu
kuba tebalina formula
kakati
omusajja ono guide yani guide ye dereva temporary atayina motoka tayinza kwebaka wuwe
alina okujja naye abiri
tuziyita munno mu kabi kakati ye president bamulimba nti ziveewo how kabusenga nakuba naye kabusenga ebikolimo byolina ne kakulu byako kulu byakubye akubye yali alumba kereziya nemukuba nemuza yali ya milioni za $2 bakube kereziya bazijja mu Amerika naye akubye abalokole abamazeewo ate we banaamutegeerera ti mu Uganda mulimu omuntu alina ekkanisa ayagala okuba ekkanisa nga bonna abamazeewo olwafudde ku bujungaduka n'olugongogongo lwako kati kali ku mulinda bonna abakazi baawo mu Amerika kagenda okuba ekkanisa kazimalewo kagenda omanyi Ssenyonga opportunity Ssenyonga yalowooza neyiyeja ate gwe ye eriddata ennyo eya Ssenyonga eriddata ennyo Ssenyonga yagabanga liriifu ng'alijjawo mu National Task Force tujje zimusasuza ate kati biriwa Ssenyonga ekimuwemula takyagaba kasakalola okulutu yavaayo Ssenyonga n'akola ensobi n'abatalinga pologulaamu zange ne bakalola okulutu n'ako akakazi akaherezi nemuwema negundi kaliisa naye n'abatalinga n'atwala biliyoni zange 10 ne bazigabana n'ako akavubuka ne tumwebaze bava wa Museveni mubuulidde abo abaana bava wa president abagambye gwe tumwebaze wafa biliyoni kaliisa ate nze sidda mabega amumpunu bayibuli batugamba nti mukaloni yatulira emabega nga ekibuga kisana wenafuuka ne mu siriki totunula mabega siriki tekukiriza kutunda anti bibabadde biwaleseeyo jja nabyo n'abagenge tebaddayo kulaba Yesu waali omu ye yaddayo oba tumusanze mu mudu n'abituddiza oba tubisanga mu kkubo fenaffe siriki tetukiriza kutulula mabega once you go you don't move backwards move ahead so kakati ekyo kyegamba nti bakola ebintu akatabo kange nkayita back to the same mujini nti ebintu byonna mwe mwayonoona mwalowooza Museveni agenda kati abazzayo mu same mujini you are going back to the same mujini this woman have failed to silence her oba wendi musimami obunyabunyezebwa wendi nti no izo nti byenca listen to byenca seba nanye
tumuwulirize
muzeeyi akawala kagamba ki akawala kagamba nti olubuto lulwo mwana gwe toddamu kumpaiza muzeeyi tukakkane akawala wakalabako tubale ennaku ate tudda mu kubala ennaku tutegeera ekikolwa kyaliwo lwaki wakabamba ne bato bannako bakabamba gwewabambaka omusango guba guweddemu byenkyabuuza gundi ono byenkyabuuza n'abakooba obadde mulandizi nenamuganza Museveni teyabajjamu
webali
yes omukazi ono gwe mwawa billions namuli is he dead aliwa ettaka lye liriwa ekyapa kye kiriwa aŋŋanzi mumuyimirize kakati ataabu kankubuuli ugenda n'obatunuulira olowooza balina sente bo babateeka wano manyi bagenda ne balaba ani qualified people tulina kyetuyita the politics of overwhelming kati Emmanuel Kimini bwensoma mu mawulire Mirundi appointed minister yes I'm entitled if I want I'm educated I look for votes I'm not overwhelmed no kakati ate waliwo ye akiwulira
n'akyamuka
yagenda ne wa pasta n'asaba oba musabo nakugamba waliwo wano omusajja bamuyita gundi kabiriti musajja muzibu ayina omusajja yagamba baminisita mumpe sente nabakwatira omuzimu gwa Museveni n'abawa obwa minisita nga bituufu yagukwata kakati oyinza omutwala mu kkooti era shiriki tekwatibwa mu kkooti kati yamukwata
tewali proof
Museveni yalipotingako nti
bakuta omuzimu
yalako omuzimu shiriki shiriki erinnya mu nnyonyi era nti bagenda ne bansanga ali ku president's office ninaye mukwano gwange Haji Gundi naye baali bamusalidde amagezi Haji Kakande ekifo ekyo baali bakiramuza ne bakiranga n'abeera namba 3 ne bamufuula nemugaa nti ate gwokola bw'oyinza okukola ate interview obadde acting emyezi 6 bweyigwako bagababagobe bakikuwa interview nfu baali bamuliddewo tumwebaza ayagalawo nnyo ayagala president tolikiddamu bakujimbye bakutaddeko a bit of $5 million buno bukadi bwe bazanye kakati nze ngenda nnyo mu president's office ne baŋŋamba abaserikale akantu kaffe katuwe nti pisto sina pisto nina shiriki eyingira ne mu office omuntu akuwerekera ne mu nnyonyi nawe yenna shiriki emundu eyina bwekoma naye shiriki nga gwe w'amazima shiriki nga gwe mutuufu mu shiriki nga shiriki ddala gwe mutuufu shiriki ekuba shiriki tegulwa
sigenda kubanga nsukka wano ngenda kuba mberekeza ngenda kuba nebaza benkoze nabo timu yonna gyenkoze nayo donde don ku kamera Jeff mu control room wamu ne producer wange Husna Afeti happy birthday omukyalo oyo birthday yabadde lunaku lwa
emotoka kozo gibalaze ya mulendo bandi baga byakulinda
emotoka nagibalaze omukama abankumire tujja kusinga lunaku olujja kuba lwakuna ne mukulu Salim Kiseka assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh